Whether you're building a shed in your back garden or a skyscraper, the key to that building being successful is for it to have a solid foundation. Without that solid foundation, the thing that you're building will soon collapse. The same is true for you building a career as a driving instructor. You need to have a solid foundation. You need to have a firm base to build on. That base is your knowledge. The knowledge that you get from briefing folders, lesson plans, and understanding. In the journey to become an approved driving instructor in the UK, the ADI Part 3 test is arguably the most challenging. It's the final hurdle, the moment where you prove you have what it takes to teach people to learn to drive safely and effectively. But there is a secret weapon that makes the difference between struggling and passing. Well-structured lesson plans and effective briefings. Why do lesson plans matter so much though? Well, imagine setting off on a long road trip, but you don't look at a map, you don't look at Google Maps. You might eventually reach your destination with a bit of luck, but the journey would no doubt be filled with wrong turns, wasted times, and probably a lot of unnecessary stress. The same applies to teaching people to drive. Lesson plans are your roadmap. They provide a clear structure. They ensure every lesson has a purpose, is logical, and it's productive. For ADI Part 3 and the standards check, mastering the art of planning a lesson isn't just about ticking boxes for the DVSA examiner. It's about building a foundation of knowledge that allows you to teach with confidence and adapt to the unpredictable nature of learner drivers. Why do you need this knowledge? In your job as a driving instructor, you're going to get a huge variety of learners, and their levels of skill will be different. Their level of knowledge will be different. Their needs will be different. So your first lesson, 9 till 10, can be a brand new learner who's never even sat in the front of a car, so you need to explain everything. Your next pupil, 10:30 till 11:30, failed their driving test last week on meeting traffic and overtaking on single roads. So you need to find out what they know, what they're doing, what they're not doing. Your next pupil, 12 till 1, has got some experience, has had about 6 to 8 lessons, has done left turns, right turns, and is now going on to emerging. So they need to focus on that particular subject. Your final pupil of the day, well, they're getting to the part where they've got their test in a couple of weeks, so they want to focus on independent driving, following signs and sat-nav. Well, what do you tell them? What do they know? What gaps do you need to fill in? To be successful, not just for the ADI Part 3, I mean to be successful as a driving instructor and to make this your full-time career and to be good at it, you need a sound knowledge of all subjects. You need a solid foundation to build on. There's a phrase, isn't there, that knowledge is power. To teach effectively, you must know your subject inside out. The ADI Part 3 test isn't merely about demonstrating your driving ability. It's a teaching exam. It's about you proving you can teach someone else to drive safely and confidently, but at the same time, spot anything that they possibly are doing wrong. That means you need to understand every aspect of the lessons that you need to cover with students, from basic vehicle control to complex junctions, independent driving, meeting traffic, and everything else in between. It's only when you have a thorough understanding of each topic and you can explain it clearly and break down complex tasks into simple, manageable steps that you can feel, yeah, I am good at this job. This isn't just about regurgitating the highway code, quoting it. It's about translating theory into practical, usable knowledge that your pupil can understand and apply. Once you have a knowledge, it's easier to spot faults earlier. That's the key to effective teaching. With a solid knowledge base, you'll be able to spot faults quickly and accurately, whether it's poor clutch control, ineffective observation at junctions, or just incorrect road positioning. Being able to identify the root cause of a problem is crucial. But it doesn't stop there. Once you've identified the fault, you need to diagnose the reason behind it. Where were they looking? What were they thinking? Then you need to provide an effective coping strategy or a solution so that they don't do that again. This is where your lesson plan and briefing folder becomes indispensable. By planning each lesson carefully, you'll be able to anticipate common mistakes. You'll be able to prepare effective demonstrations and design a lesson plan that helps your pupils practice and master each skill. Having a depth of knowledge means that for coping strategies, you're going to help your learners overcome mistakes. See, everyone makes mistakes, especially learner drivers. But a good driving instructor doesn't just correct mistakes. They teach the pupils how to avoid them in the future. And by using a structured lesson plan and well thought out briefings, you can provide your pupils with coping strategies that help them stay calm and composed even when things don't go to plan. For example, if a pupil struggles with stalling at junctions, a well-prepared lesson plan might include a demonstration of correct clutch control. It might involve quickly just recapping how the clutch works, the two big metal plates, and how they actually interact. That can then be followed by a series of gradually more challenging exercises to build their confidence and competence. By explaining not just how to perform the skill, but also why it works, you equip your pupil with understanding, and this is what they need to be able to solve problems independently. The other thing with having a solid foundation, you're going to reduce your test day nerves. Let's face it, the part 3, the test, is nerve-wracking enough. But confidence comes from preparation. When you know exactly what you're teaching, why you're teaching it, and how you can adapt your teaching to approach each pupil differently, each situation differently, you'll feel so much more confident and in control. Effective lesson plans and briefings give you that confidence. They ensure that you cover every aspect of that subject in a logical, progressive way. It helps keep your pupil engaged and motivated and on track. And crucially, they can demonstrate to the examiner what you've been teaching them and how when they implement it, they become a better driver. So, the bottom line is planning equals success. We live in a world where there are no guarantees. But one thing is certain: when you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. And this old saying rings true, especially for the Part 3 test. By investing time in thinking about detailed lesson plans and delivering concise, informative briefings, you'll not only improve your chance of passing the Part 3 or the standards check, but you're laying the groundwork, the base for a successful and rewarding career as a driving instructor. Remember, passing the ADI Part 3 isn't just about showing you can drive well. It's about proving you can teach well. And that starts with having a thorough understanding of the subjects you will need for every pupil that you're going to work with. And using effective lesson plans and delivering clear, confident briefings not only makes you a more confident teacher, it makes your students a much better driver. So remember, being a great driving instructor isn't just about getting pupils through their test. It's about teaching them the skills, the mindset, and the understanding of the subject they need to be safe, responsible drivers for the rest of their lives. And that's why investing in high-quality lesson planning and briefings is pretty much the smartest move you can make on your journey to becoming an ADI. If you're ready to get started, plan your lessons, refine your briefings, and give yourself the best possible chance of success, then why not have a look at our ADI Part 3 Briefings and Lesson Plans course online at adionline.co.uk. After all, in the world of driver training, preparation isn't just important, it's everything.